I Love Me Broken by Bridget van der Zijpp, published by Gallic Books, and this is a novel that is largely and predominantly set in Berlin. It is the story of Ginny, who is a New Zealander, and she comes across some quite difficult information. She's in her mid-30s, and one of her family members, and they've never been a particularly close family, her mother committed suicide, so it's been all very much a kind of loose connection between those remaining. She is informed that their family, and particularly that on her mother's side, carry a faulty gene, and you're not guaranteed to get it, but if you do, the likelihood of the rest of your life is going to be blighted by very, very difficult circumstances. So of course, this is a very difficult thing to discover in your mid-30s. There is a test that she could take, but if she is proven to have the gene, there is actually nothing that can be done. So does she want to know? Does she not want to know? And so she decides to go from New Zealand and land in Berlin, where she knows her cousin is, Mel, and just kind of get her head straight. Mel is busy leading the high life, so she moves in with someone called Frankie, and in fact Frankie turns out to be a real anchor for her in the city. So this is a very interesting idea that she's actually set the book in Berlin, because wherever you go in Berlin there is a real sense of history, whether the wall was there or the Nazi period. And of course, in the lead up to World War II, the regime at the time were very good at weeding out people who were not considered to be healthy. And of course, if she were to develop the illness or the gene that she might or might not be carrying, then she is reminded everywhere that under certain circumstances, euthanasia would possibly have been an option carried out by those in charge. And that is a very kind of poignant juxtaposition, and I'm sure in part is why the author chose Berlin as the setting. There are some wonderful vignettes of Berlin. If you read it before you go to visit the city, probably better if you already know the city to pick this book up, because quite a few things will feel familiar. Whether Ginny and her friends are going to the Späti, which is the late opening little corner shop. They head up to Krummelanke, which is a station on the U-Bahn, where you can actually go swimming in one of the lakes, many lakes that surround Berlin. There's just sort of like everyday life, observations, what it's like travelling on the U-Bahn, what it's like walking through the city, the weather, what it's like to spend Christmas there, and how everybody kind of celebrates that or leaves immediately after to go away for New Year, leaving the city really, really empty. So this is a kind of a complex, a multifaceted kind of story that I think anyone who has a fondness for Berlin or wants to get under the the real kind of next level of the city, then I think I Love Me Broken by Bridget van der Zijpp is a good novel to pick up.